Welcome back. I'm Felix, and today I'm reacting to he called us out. Now, just to let you know, I've already watched the video, and I wanted to react to it. This is not the usual content I react to on this channel, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on it because I found it interesting, and doesn't mean I'm going to change my content to this. It's just usually I react to anything, and this one just caught my interest. Thought I'd share it with you guys. This one has to do with the guy who was talking about he's in his 30s, single, financially stable, all this stuff, and he's single and can't find someone. And they reacted to the video, and I remember them reacting to the video. And you know, if you ever watch Abba Preach, you know they're not always serious. And in this video, the guy took offense to that. So let's watch it, and I'll give you some more thoughts on it as we watch it. And there's actually another Abba Preach video I want to react to, which I may do as well. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not, but I thought that was interesting too. So we'll see. I probably will do it. Oh, and another thing, I hit 20 subscribers, so thanks for subscribing, everybody. And I made a promise to myself if I hit 20 subscribers, I was going to make 20 videos in a row to post every day for 20 days. So starting today and onward, I'm going to create 20 videos. Now, I got 3 already set to go up. I'm not counting those 3 because I didn't know I hit 20 videos when I put those 3 up. Or I didn't know I hit 20 subscribers when I put those 3 up. So I'm going to count this one and the rest after this. And you may hear a lawnmower in the background. I don't know if I can filter it out, but let's... Oh man, my mind went blank. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's see what he's calling him out for, even though I already explained it.
Quick recap. So we did a video on this guy a while back.
But I'm 34, I have no children, I'm not married, and I'll be 35 in May.
And I guess he saw the video, he reacted. It was like a 12-minute video, so let's just watch his reaction, then we'll...
So I found this video on YouTube on a response of a video I made with me having a desire to want to be a husband and a father.
34, I have no children, I'm not married, and I'll be 35 in May. And the older I get, the further away I feel I am from being a husband and a father. And not because I can't have kids, but because when I was younger, I
realized I was gay.
It's so crazy how you sit there and you be vulnerable and talk about something like wanting to be a husband, wanting to be a father. And a lot of men don't even talk about things like that. You usually see women speak on their desires of wanting to be mothers, especially as they age. But for me, it was something that was important because it's something that I do love to have one day in my life. But it's kind of crazy how you can speak on one of these things and the first thing somebody says is that, oh, he must like men. Like, what does that have to do with a man's want of wanting to be a father and a husband? Me, I don't just want a wife. Me, I just don't want kids. Like, I want to be the representation of everything I hope to receive. And that takes time, that takes effort, and it takes intention. Yes, I can have a child by next year. Yes, I can get married tomorrow. But what good is it if I'm not taking it serious? What good if I'm not honoring God? What good is it if I'm not being the man that I need to be for my wife? What if I'm not stepping up to the plate as a parent for my children? So that's why I say, if it comes down to anybody that watches the video that hopes to be a parent, whether if you're a man or a woman, do it the right way. And I'm not saying the perfect way, but have good intentions. It may take you a little bit longer. The one thing I agree with them through this entire video is the fact that, yes, you have to get out. If you,
Okay.
Now, I believe that.
Okay, before we hear their response, just based on what that guy was saying right there, I think I do remember Preach saying that, or Abba saying that, you know, about he discovered he was gay. And I can't remember if I was thinking the same thing because I have a warped sense of humor. But I think he forgot one very important thing is he's on the internet. I understand he was trying to be vulnerable and talk about something serious, but you also got to understand you're on the internet. Anyone can respond, and unfortunately for him, it was Abba preaching. He didn't necessarily agree with the way they handled it. He did say he agreed with a lot of the other stuff they said. You got to put yourself out there. And you know, he's 35, and he feels he, from the original video, it feels like he's getting further away. Yeah, if you don't put yourself out there, it doesn't matter how stable you are. you're not going to meet no one. And then again, I also want to know what are his criterias. Because if he has all that, why can't he meet someone? I remember thinking that the first time I watched him, and when I watched this video again, or when I watched this video when it came out, I was thinking, what are your criterias? Because you should have easily met someone. And I'm sure in my head I could hear it come back, well, I don't want to just easily meet someone. But the reality is, you could have easily met someone. And it could have been the perfect match, but you won't know unless you get out there and start dating. In my head, I see him as someone who wants to meet the right person the first time, which doesn't happen. That's rare. That is super, super rare that ever happens. You don't meet the first person right out the gate. And not just based on that, that's what I feel like. But let's hear what Abin Preach had to say about his response.
I believe that aside from the joke that you thought it was really not funny, we were really fair in what we said.
I love when people do reviews of our videos.
Let me go back, because he did say
A bit longer. The one thing I agree with them through this entire video is the fact that, yes, you have to get out. If you,
No, I believe that I believe that aside from the joke that...
Yeah, he did agree with him about getting out there. Now, they didn't watch the whole video. I'll leave a link for the whole video, but let's go ahead and let them finish.
Not funny. We were really fair in what we said.
I love when people do reviews of our videos. They're critical. They share perspective. I've seen like so many videos over the last couple of years where people are like, this is where you're wrong, this is where you're right. And for me, it's always a good learning experience. Enjoy that. He plays like a single throwaway joke in the first 30 seconds and then doesn't extrapolate on that, doesn't look at everything else. Like, I'd understand if we spent the whole 13 minutes talking about this. Well, we had like a substantive conversation about the whole thing, and he honed in on that one moment and didn't talk about nothing else.
That's why I said we were fair.
So to me, it was like, if you're going to critique it, do it properly. Like, I will play your video in its entirety, or at least a substantial amount, to like finally say something. It don't matter if I like the person or not. It's like, you know how many times people have critiqued me and said like, "Nigga, you got a huge forehead," or you and Preacher gay, and I don't sit there and have this whole pontificating moment about like, oh, somebody made a gay joke. Like, bruh, it's not that deep. You didn't like the joke? That's cool. Not your audience? It's okay. But to pretend we are dismissing your concerns or what you feel, you know, with this whole like gayness thing is not a real reflection of the video at all. There's a lot of criticism. So why don't we rewatch the video that he originally made, keep everything in context, and then we'll discuss it.
Okay, hold on. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to react to this, is because they're not wrong. It was that one thing that they said that he didn't like, and he saw it as them dismissing. And I honestly don't remember the entire video from the first time I watched it, but from what I do remember, it wasn't like they dogged him out or just called him names throughout the whole thing. It was just, I think it was just that one moment, and then they agreed and disagreed with him. Now, with that said, I don't always agree with Abin Preach. But I don't recall them like going in on him or dismissing anything he had to say. I think their biggest criticism was, you have to get out there. You have to put yourself out there. Like I was saying earlier, you got to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to go out there and meet people. If you're not, it's not going to happen. So, yeah.
A way I feel I am from being a husband and a father. And not because I can't have kids. Desire to be.
Sorry, I was gonna make the joke again. That was great.
I know you was.
Stop. No, it's because it was just
the first time I watched this, I started laughing because I was waiting for him to do it. I was like, he's going to do it. He didn't, but I was waiting for it.
I mean, but whatever. Let's keep going.
But because when I was younger, I always desired to be a husband, especially in my early 20s. I thought by 25, I'd have 2 kids, I'd have a house. Maybe I was being unrealistic, but as I get older, it's like, man, my little brother is about to have a 1-year-old in June. My baby sister is about to have, well, she actually has an 8-year-old right now. And I'm like, I'm the last one. I got it together. And it's like,
you're comparing yourself to your sister and your brother. And you have to understand one thing. The same way that we're not you and we don't know you like that, you're not them and you're not in their heads. So as much as you're like, oh, they got kids, I ain't got kids, you don't know what their regrets are. You don't know what they like. You don't know what. So the comparison that you're doing with other people, sometimes it really sets you back, because what you see is really the good part. You're not in their head. Even though you look at that sister with that kid and you're like, I wish I was that. Maybe your sister's like, shit, I was really too fucking young for that thing. And although I love my kid, if I would have done it again, I would. So maybe that person is looking at you, is looking like, look at my big brother, 34 and living his best life. Yeah, I understand everybody's situation, but sometimes you have to be grateful also for what you got right now.
Okay, before we go any further, I have 2 kids, and honestly, I was late 20s when I got married, and in my 30s when I had my first kid, and mid 30s, so 5 years later. So yeah, mid 30s when I had my second kid. And I know someone who has 2 kids. One just started kindergarten, maybe in the first grade now, and they have another one that's not in school yet. And he is the same age as me, and I'm almost 50, and he just started having kids. So it's not too late. So first, you got to look into that. You know, there are people having kids later and later in life. Secondly, preach is not wrong. I do look at other people who don't have kids and think, oh, God, what was I thinking? But again, I do love my kids. But I also told them, you better hope I never get the chance to go back in time. I don't know if I would do it again. Because raising kids is not easy. And it is a 100% thankless job. Even say your kids buy you a house, buy you a car, your kids grow up to be super successful and they take care. Unless that happens, even if that doesn't happen, whether it happens or doesn't happen, the job itself is thankless. And if you're doing it to get thanks, then you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. But I still love my kids, and I joke with my kids, and I'll go as far as to tell them, yeah, I'm going out for milk, I'll be right back. Or I'm going out for a pack of cigarettes, I'll be right back. But with that said, I would also burn this planet to the ground if anything happened to him. This earth would not exist when I got done with it. So, yeah, like he said, you don't know. His siblings could be looking at him going, damn, I should have been like my big brother, not had kids. Because you never know, because raising kids is hard. It's not easy. And I'm not talking about them misbehaving or anything. I have really good kids. I got lucky with that. I'm just talking about all the little things, the worrying, the medical, the making sure they're all right, making sure they're learning correctly, making sure no one's trying to hurt them, so on and so forth. Things like that. That's what really gets you. Because eventually you have to let them go out into the world by themselves. My oldest just turned 18, and it actually made me sad. It made me really sad that she's 18 now. And she still needs her daddy. She just turned 18, but still, she's 18 now. All right, let's. I may not watch this whole video, but because it is 19 minutes long, and I usually don't do too long of videos. But let's go ahead and get back into it.
Hasn't it happened for me yet? And I'm like, man, maybe I'm the problem.
Yes, you are. That's not me being rude or anything, but you are the problem. I forgot he said that. Here's why I'm saying he's the problem. If you're constantly single, and I don't mean necessarily going from relationship to relationship, and even that, if you're going from relationship to relationship, there is a common denominator in all that. It is you. You need to reevaluate what you're looking for in a partner. You need to reevaluate how you're going to get a partner. Are you actually putting yourself out there? Are you doing the work? Are you going to places to meet a partner? In his call-out video, he talked about God. Is he a religious person? If he's a religious person, are you going to church socials? Do they have church dating? You can go to church dating sites now. There's so many ways you could be meeting people. The question becomes, what are you doing to let these women know that you're available and that you're out there? Because if these women don't know you're available and out there, nothing's going to happen. And also, unfortunately, it's still up to the man to approach the woman. So are you approaching the woman? If you're not approaching a woman, what are you doing? For me, I actually met my wife online. The weirdest thing, I could meet women in real life, but for some reason online, I was meeting women left and right. And I didn't lie or anything. I just typed I'm really good at typing. But in person, I could still do it. And because one time I realized I was doing it in person and I discovered online, I was like, it was easier to do it online because I could just surf and pick pictures and stuff. This is before, and keep in mind, I'm 49, so this is before dating apps. So yeah, I started doing that online, and I met my wife online. And the funny thing is, my wife didn't have a picture, but I still chose to meet her because I had great luck meeting women who didn't have pictures. So I figured, why not meet her in person? We met, got married, got 2 kids now. So yeah, so what is he doing to try and meet this future wife of his? That's the big question. And you list all the great things about you. You have issues, but the question is, what are your issues, and are you willing to fix them, or are they issues that need fixed? Because his issues could be something simple as he wants a wife that's going to be home, cooking meals, taking care of the kids while he works. And there's a lot of women who do want to do that. And there's a lot of women who say they want that. And they don't realize what that entails. And then when they realize it, they don't want that. But there's a lot of women who want to work. He may discover that what he thinks he wants is not what he wants. And that was the same for me. Because I had this idea of what I wanted in a woman. And then I met my wife, and she wasn't really what I wanted in a woman, but here we are. And so you never know. Because a lot of times you think you know what you want, and it turns out it's not what you want.
I don't know. But I don't know if anyone feels that way, especially men. I'm a black man. I'm young still. I don't have no baby mamas. No.
Yes, men do feel that way.
And yet, I desire to be a husband. I desire to get married one day and have kids. And it's like I just feel like I'm just getting older and I'm further away from that dream. And it's so crazy because it's something that I truly do want. But I see so many people out there who already have it. And I feel like, is it really there for me? So I thought I would ask y'all, do any of y'all feel this way? Even women, but just as much as the guys.
All right, before we listen to them, to put it simply, if it is something he really wants, he's got to do the work. He's got to get out there and meet people. And like I said, I feel like he's trying to meet that perfect woman on the first date. And again, it's so super rare. It's not going to happen. He needs to get that out of his head. If he truly wants a wife and kids, he just got to get out there and start dating. He may have to date 20 women before he finds the right one. He may have to date 2 women before he finds the right one. There's no way to tell until you get out there and start dating. And again, like I said, the common denominator is him. He's the reason he's not married. He's the reason he doesn't have kids. And he needs to address that and actually reevaluate how he's going to achieve his end goal of being married and having kids. If he doesn't, it's not going to happen. Well, I take that back. Because sometimes when you're not looking, you'll find them. That happens a lot too. So it really does come down to what is he doing. All right. I think I'm going to listen to what they have to say about this, and then that'll be that. But let's go ahead and see what then I'll tell you some more.
Watched your original video, and I think this is like a greater thing we can talk about just in dating in general.
Go ahead.
This is my perspective of how people are nowadays when it comes to dating. People who are married or off the market have one thing, and then people who are single, all they do is spend their time online saying that everyone else is the problem. Fair? How many times you've been online, everyone's like the dating market's disgusting, men are trash, women are trash, whatever it is, right? And part of me feels very confused when I say that, because I'm like, if I took everybody who said that and I stuck them in a room, I'm like, you niggas are talking about each other. Y'all realize that, right? Oftentimes, everything is about what's happening around us.
Yes,
even in the comments of the video, they're like, but man, you can get to 40, you can do everything right, and it doesn't work out with you. And I agree. But can we be honest and say that that's not most people? Can we be honest and say that very few people ever get online and say, oh, this is where I had an issue here? Or I didn't prioritize marriage and dating life at all. Or like, when do people have that conversation? All I see is one side of it, right? But that's like the surface level aspect of it. It's like, where's the introspection? Like, okay, well, what have you been doing to try to set yourself up? Like, I'll take.
That's what I was just saying. It's like, what have you been doing? I used to post shorts and TikToks kind of on my other channel. I have a second channel, and I always leave a link for it. But in the podcast I do, I've been talking about relationships, and I'll probably talk about this and that as well. But I do try to point out all the things that people do wrong, and even myself. Talking about you get to 40, you don't know what you want to do. So yeah, that just made me realize. I think there's two more. There's actually two more Abba and Preach things I wanted to talk about. I need to go find them because they actually talked about copyright issues, and I found that one really interesting. And then there's one where they talk about maybe it's this one where they're talking about I'm almost 50, or I'm almost, and I don't know what I want to do with my life. So, but that aside, yeah, I do want to have that conversation. Like, what are you doing to achieve this? And sometimes when I watch videos of people who actually ask those questions, the answers the other people give are just so stupid. It's like, I'm out there. Okay, but what else are you doing? I'm out there. That doesn't answer the question. What are you? Everyone's out there, but what are you doing to attract that other person? What are you doing to meet that person that you want to have this future with? And what are your goals? What are your steps? And no one has that. Sometimes it just happens, but other times, if you're truly not doing anything, your chances of meeting someone are really low. And sometimes people do end up meeting someone either online, or I saw one where a woman got a date with a guy who was doing something around her house, and she just took the chance and asked him out. And she was in jeans and she was in sweatpants, sweatshirt, no makeup, hair in a ponytail. And the guy was like, yeah, and she just took a chance. And women, you guys really do need to take a chance more. You'd be surprised how often a guy might just be stunned when you ask him out at first. Be like, they might think it's a trap. Unfortunately, I would too. It's like, oh, this is a setup. I'm being set up. But yeah, just don't over panic, don't overreact. But yeah, what are you doing to meet that person? Is really what it comes down to.
And this is not a one-to-one analogy, but I'll take like someone being 37 and they're basically coming to me and they're like, bro, I don't have any career path.
This is it. This is what I was talking about. So it's just one other video there.
37. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, okay, cool. What have you been doing for the last 17 to 19 years? This is what an employer would ask you, but I'm going to ask the same question. What have you been doing? Have you been setting yourself up to have a career path? Have you done any higher education? Have you done any training? Have you been working within a company that has like a growth potential or whatever it might be? Oftentimes you'll have conversations with people who are at 37 with no career prospects. And as you start to peel back the layers of why they're nowhere near even half decent, you'll realize like, okay, well, you don't have any language skills. You haven't really developed your resume extensively in a way that kind of aligns with the career path you want. You've switched career lanes 7 or 8 times. It's just like, there's a deeper conversation to have about our own behavior and how it plays into this stuff. But every time I say that, it's like, oh, Abba, you're victim blaming. Oh, Abba, you're not being considerate. Oh, Abba, you're not being nice. I'm like, no, I'm just being real with you. If you are where you are at the age, I'm not talking about 20, I'm not talking about 25, I'm not talking about 20. If you get into 35, which is what this guy's age is, and you don't know why you are where you are, or you don't talk about that, to me, some red flags go off.
Why?
Okay. I agree and disagree with everything he was saying there, because I'm 49. I'm a senior IT technician. I know IT. I'm pretty good at it. And I still don't know what I want to do in life. It just turned out I was good at IT. I can fix broken things. I could have been a mechanic. I'm good at fixing things. I can fix broken things. My daughter's doll broke. That had a movable ankle. The ankle moved, like say it's the foot moved. Well, the pins in there broke. It was plastic pins, but I was able to keep the pins in there. What I did is I took kind of like tape. It was like a medical tape my wife had for something she had. And I took it, like, kind of wrapped it around one time, and it looked like she had a cast. My daughter loved it. She even colored it in and everything. And I think she still has that doll. She's 18 now, but I think she still has that doll. And for that day forward, I was Mr. Fix-It before Fix-It Felix stuff came out. But I was Mr. Fix-It, and because I was fixing everything in the house. I learned to work on washing machines. I learned to work on dishwashers. I learned to work on a microwave. I learned to work on the stove. I learned to work on our cars. I learned to work on a hot water heater. I already knew how to solder pipes from living with my mom. We used to have to solder our pipes every winter because they would explode. Even though we would insulate them, they would still explode because the temperature would dip so much. So the problem with me, as I know, is I lack focus. But I knew I had to pick a lane in order to make money, so I picked IT, and that's what I've been ever since. I've been doing IT for as long as I can remember. I left IT for a long time and went into banking. I was actually pretty good at banking, but I hated banking, and I like IT, but I don't know if I want to do IT much longer. But I don't have anything else to do. I don't know what else I want to do. I have 1,000 things I want to do, but I don't know what I should do. I don't know what to follow. I have a degree in animation. I have a degree in computers. So that tells you how I can't focus. I just wish, I think if I had focus, that would help a lot. I am going to try to get tested for ADHD. I'll throw that in there because I have been preach actually. But I've been thinking about that for a long time and I forgot about it. So I am going to try to do that. Because Abba was talking about something where he got tested and discovered he had it. And I was just like, he was going down through details and stuff. And I was like, that sounds like me. So I think I am going to go get tested for it. But what's funny to me is I'll be honest, I'll be kind of scared. You know, what if it turns out I have it? Or worse yet, what if it turns out I don't have it? I'm just a scatterbrain. But let's say I have it. I start taking pills and I get this clarity. My fear is, what if I get this clarity? I'm just like, I'm chucking everything. Yeah. I have this joke where I don't have focus on purpose because God didn't want me to have focus. I'm not even a religious person, but I make that joke because if I ever got focus, I'd probably destroy the world. But yeah, I don't really have focus unless I'm doing stuff for other people. Even doing this YouTube stuff, I kind of look at it as a job, and that's how I keep doing it. And I tried to do animation, but then I'm like, I don't know what the difference is between the animation and doing this. I haven't found. It's like, I want to draw. I want to do animation. I'm actually good at drawing. I'm actually not that bad at animation either. So I don't know why I have that mental block with that. I did talk about in my podcast that, you know, I have a bad habit of sabotaging myself, and I've been working on that. But yeah, you can still work. Now, he was talking about, you know, shifting jobs constantly. Yeah. If you're constantly shifting jobs, then yeah, you need to figure out something. You need to either look at one of those jobs that you did. Was there any of them that you liked? And find a career path. But otherwise, yeah, as for not knowing what you want to do in life, I have a steady job and I still don't know what I want to do in life. Honestly, I just work to work. That's really what it comes down to. But I think I'm going to end it here. If you want to watch the rest of the... Oh, let me get adjusted here. My phone on my seat. If you want to watch the rest of the video, I'll leave a link for it. But yeah, I just found it interesting. You know, there's a guy's take on things. They go on for, like I said, I think it's a 20-minute video. Well, that's the last of his. Let me go ahead and watch this part, and then I'll see what they have to say after that, and I'll probably cut it there.
Hasn't it happened for me yet? And I'm like, man, maybe I'm the problem. I don't know.
And people are like, well, Abba, you're just projecting. Listen, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only person who ever gets online and says, yo, this is why I didn't have the dating outcomes I.
Nope, you're not the only person that gets online and says that. I do it too now.
Wanted. This is the things I did for a good portion of my life to not be where I want to be today. Maybe it's just me and everybody else. You guys are victims of circumstances. You guys were fucked up by somebody. You weren't raised well. Listen, do you know how many people were not raised well and ended up married with a partner that they left today? You know how many people came from broken families and ended up figuring out what's the difference between, is it just luck? And I had people truly trying to convince me that you just have to be lucky. Well, if that's what you want to believe, you're in the wrong channel, my friend. I don't have time to sit here today and tell you that things are just going to happen to you if you happen to be at the right place at the right time. If that's what you want to hear, I don't know why the fuck you're watching us.
I will say this: luck does play a part in life. Unfortunately, it doesn't play as big a part as a lot of people think, but luck does play a part. There is such a thing as right place, right time. But I understand what he's saying is that if you depend on that, then yeah, you're going to be really unhappy. You're going to be single. If you want it to happen, you have to make your own luck. You have to get out there and just do it. So like this, like I'm doing the YouTube channel. I got 20 subscribers now on this channel. So yeah, if you want it, you got to go for it. But I am going to end it here. I know he goes on to talk about other stuff. Like I said, I've already watched the video. I'll leave a link for it for you guys to go back. Again, I'm not switching how I do things. This is just... did I react to one of the videos before on this channel? I can't remember. But I just found this interesting. If you guys... if you guys actually find this interesting, let me know. Because on my podcast, I've kind of started gearing towards relationships on there. I don't want to do that necessarily on here. I want to do everything in between. I want to be able, on this channel, I want to be way more flexible. So that's my goal with this channel. That's why I created 2 separate channels. One, it's going to be kind of geared towards something. On that other channel, I do Reddit stuff and relationship stuff is what I'm kind of gearing towards. And not just relationship stuff on there, just kind of life stuff. That's kind of because when I started the podcast, I kind of lost focus, but then I got it back on that. Like I said, don't have focus. But yeah, if you guys actually like this kind of stuff, let me know. Maybe I'll do a little more of this relationship stuff on this channel as well. But I do like laughing as well, so I might do relationship comedy stuff. So find some stuff to laugh at. But otherwise, thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for getting me 20 subscribers. And like I said, I'm going to post 20 videos. I've decided I am going to react to the other Abba Preacher because I was talking about copyright. And when they were talking about it, it was like, yeah, I've seen those videos all the time. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, I'll leave the original video so you can go back and finish watching it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Everyone take care. Later. I forgot what I was going to say. All right, later.